Yet.
Welcome
Could I
to
be doing
Fungi
something wrong? Hold on.
Frontiers, the official podcast of the Maine Fungi Fest.
How's this?
I'm your host, Bobby Paluzzi. Let's
Hello, hello,
go.
hello.
So
Yeah.
the little thing that where there's the headphone, you're supposed to push it in all the way. See, so that's
Oh, yeah,
just gonna let you know. Push it in all the way. It works way better.
yeah.
So isn't that
They never tell
nice?
you that.
No. So all the puzzling led up to success. We finally reached a corridor here. All right, I'm going to nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So I'll just begin, eh?
All right.
Shall we just begin? It's like go is what it is. Talking to Marina Go. Here we are speaking to Marina Go. Fungi Frontiers is happy to have a good time after its fest over on the 30th to June 1st. And guess what? We brought back some presents. Tell us the smallest bit about yourself, Marina Go, which is your name, correct? Or some of your
Uh,
name.
it's some of my name, my Facebook name. My last name is too long for people to pronounce. It's quite intimidating. So Go works just fine. Um, a little bit about myself. Well, my name is Marina. I was born and raised in Russia and left about 10 years ago to go find something that felt more real, something that felt more genuine than what I had living in Moscow in the big city. And my life was transformed about 8 or 9 years ago now when I was brought to my first clown workshop.
Aha. Okay. Clown workshop. Clown workshop. Where were you brought to your first clown workshop?
It was in France. I was
In
living in
France.
this artistic eco village
Hmm.
near a town called Carcassonne. And it is a gorgeous place, bottom of a valley, beautiful woods, streams, and everything. And one of my best friends to this day, Aline, um, she was offering a clown workshop, and people came from different places to take part. And she invited me and a few other friends who were living there to participate. And I thought, well, it's free and I'm going to support my friend and hang out with her. So I'm going to try it out. And
So your
little did I
train,
know.
yeah, your transformation is what we're here to talk about, right? So from that moment, which is always a good thing to have someone on that has gone through some kind of a major a change or a revelation that's brought some change in their life. So you are now at this point the teacher a little bit, right? And you've taken the class from when you took that class a long time ago. I know there's a lot in between, but I'm kind of interested in what you're currently doing, and then we can maybe trace it back a little bit to some other little points where things may have changed for you. But there we were back then, and you had this
Mhm,
transformation. So where are we
mhm.
now? Where are we now? Why are we interviewing you?
Yeah.
Give me the
All right. Well, that
yeah.
transformation happened, all those years ago. And then I thought,
Right.
I want to do this all the
Right.
time. I want to take
Right.
these principles that I learned at that first workshop and just apply it to my everyday existence, which I continued to successfully do,
Mm,
and using clown sort of as a healing modality for myself
mhm.
until about 3 years ago, I discovered a place in South Paris, Maine, lost here in the foothills, which is called Celebration Barn,
Hmm.
which turned out to be a world mecca for clown, mime, and physical theater. And
Ah,
this is where I work currently. I am now, it's my season 4 that I am an alumnus of Celebration Barn. And so, what I do is, apart from working here, is I also offer workshops to people who want to try out clown and uh, you know um, t- sort of
okay.
test it onto themselves, see how it can transform their lives.
You've got a place called Celebration Barn.
Correct.
Okay, and it's a clown school, or it sounds like a clown institute or something something like that. Okay, now I would love to know what the perspective is. I know maybe like the reaction you're getting from people, and we have what is the clown these days? What are you teaching people? Is it a classic thing? Is it something we've always had, or something new? Or does it
Well,
renew?
yes, all of it. And uh, it is a renewable thing for sure. A clown, to start with, I think, is one of the world's most ancient healing modalities.
Okay.
Clowns allegedly have existed in many indigenous cultures and were healers that help people process the experiences of life. Clowns also were, correspond with the archetype of the trickster.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mocking.
questioning, mocking, and questioning paradigms, sort of saying things that may not be comfortable. And as a matter of fact, the court jester back in the days was also the only person, it is said, that was allowed to speak the not so nice truths to the monarch and
Hmm.
not get killed or.
So explain something really cool here. The healing word. Uh, is it always called that? Did the kings call it that when there was a jester? Or is there some other kind of a way to explain that? Because it almost seems like a breaking the tension, cracking
Yeah.
the little shell of what's maybe too precious to say. And yet in
Mhm.
your case you're saying healing too. So why don't we gather a little bit of like what healing means when you go maybe through the celebration barn or even to one of your
Mhm.
consultations.
All right. So to answer your first question, I have
Hmm?
no information about whether kings call it healing. I doubt so.
I don't think so.
Personally, I think it had
Man.
to be more subversive than
Bring in
that.
the healer. Maybe it had something more
Yeah.
to do with a bit of wit, but it's also
Yes.
yeah, something like that.
A little funny things, some kind of attitude that switches things up. Um,
Hmm.
and then what healing means, uh, healing through clown means to me personally is with relation to what you said, stepping outside of what we were taught we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to look like, um, really letting things get to us, really
Hmm.
allowing the experience of life, whatever it is, to touch us deeply, and we let it go deep, and we let it stir things up, and we let things bubble up, and we let them show for
What?
others to see.
Okay. Wait a minute. So you're saying let something in. What is this? What is this? What? I think I need to hear that again in some which way. I need to know what you mean. Revealing? Is it escaping? No. What is it? Hmm? Hmm?
Here's another take on that. And
Okay.
during my first clown workshop, the clown was described to me as this being with no skin,
Ah.
which means when we're in a clown state, we do not have all the walls of protection that we build between ourselves and the outside world as we grow up.
Hmm.
Those walls might have been, and they might be necessary still, in some cases, but many of them don't really serve us. And so clown is very much about, you know, trying to take a peek from behind that, or sort of like removing that veil, and discovering genuine connection.
Hmm.
Connection is the word.
Is it
Yeah.
almost a reverting to a childlike appreciation of one another? Is it that easy, or is there something more going on? Because adults can use layers and layers of humor to get at things. And this, I think, is going back to that court jester thing. You just
Yeah.
use wit on top of wit, and it becomes an art form to become to be funny. But in your case, I think you're sort of getting at something a little deeper that like you might come out of it with a bit of like almost like a stretch to your heart, a stretch
Mhm.
to your imagination, or a stretch to what you think you can and can't do. And obviously, it depends on how maybe tied up you might be to begin with. Um, but I suppose you had a deep enough reaction back at one point, and you were trying to bring that out in people, and it was healing for you then.
Yeah.
So I guess I like the idea that that's a healing, that there's something that you can call this healing. But what if
Mhm.
everyone was absurd? Would that be what would we do then? Is there a point where there's you know, you have to go back to the norms, or what happens when you realize you don't have to go back to the norms? Does everybody go to clown school? Uh, see these questions.
Lots of
I need
questions,
to
lots of
know. I need
questions.
to know. Yeah, but please
Okay.
answer whichever
Okay.
way. Yeah.
I will. Thank you. And and I love that it touches you so deeply too, and it seems to stir things up within you
Hmm,
too.
I may
That
have
yeah,
something to do with it.
isn't that curious?
Hmm.
So first of all, you said something at the beginning where you said, "Is it just like reverting to being a child? Is it
Right.
that easy?" Well, the question is that easy? If it was just reverting to being a child, is that easy?
Hmm.
And I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there at that right now.
I guess I meant to
Uh,
explain, easy to explain, not necessarily to become a
ah,
kid, but easy to, is it that easy to explain? So I'll make that little distinction there, but okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and okay.
It may
So
not
here we
be.
go. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find a
Yeah.
way of, where, which of your questions I want to approach
Okay.
first.
Thank you.
Uh, so here we go. I don't think it's easy,
Mm,
and I think it is a unique path for each person.
mm,
And it might be, it might relate to a lot of, childlike wonder,
hmm.
or seeing the world. During that first clown workshop, we did this exercise where we
Mm.
were in the woods, and we each went under a white sheet, one by one, and we stayed there for as long as we needed. And when we emerged, it was the birth of the clown. And when the clown emerged, they saw the world around them as if they'd never seen it before.
Let's take a moment for our sponsor love here on Fungi Frontiers and the Maine Fungi Fest. We'd like to thank Norumbega Provisions, LLC, North Spore, Healer, Sanctuary, Float Harder, Elevate Mushrooms, the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, Apotheosis Fungi, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection, Root Healing, Iboga Retreats, Southwest Shroomery, Veteran Psychedelic Network, MN Nice Botanicals, Creative Oxford Hills, Maine Intimacy, Relationship and Sex Coaching, Renewal by Anderson, Nevvea Dance Circus, Maine only, Riverside Lodge and Sauna, The Sacred Self, Decriminalize Maine, Driftless Saunas, Wild Embodiment, Creative Expressions, Good Medicine Collective, Nord Creative, and we'll see Podmani at the Maine Fungi Fest 2025 as well.
That was
So
the practice. That's what you were
that
doing.
was that's part of the
Okay, right,
practice.
right.
And then that, if you, I mean, and a lot of practices overlap with that. If we change vocabulary, Zen practices teach us sort of the same thing, presence, being in the moment, not having a narrative about what you're experiencing, but actually experiencing it in this moment from within your body, right? So that is part of what clown
Okay. Okay.
does, clowns
So
do.
so that's important there. Something through your body. So there's a lot of physicality A lot of interpretation, and there's a lot of physicality that it can be interpreted as normal and socially constructed, and you know, it's made for us to do this and this. And so when you see it mocked, there is some sense of like, oh, is that me? Do I do I just look like I don't think I'm everyone else. But when it's mocked, all of a sudden, wait a minute, maybe I am a little bit like everyone else, you know? And if I don't get loose and get a little silly once in a while, I will
Mhm.
exactly perform myself exactly in some normalized way. Um, so this sort of relates to the mushroom in the consciousness of the mushroom to me as well. Do you have any area where you can say you cross over into the idea of what could be enabled by the particularly the psychedelic mushroom in terms of like breaking and shattering some of that norm, and maybe we're calling it healing if it does something good in the end, right? But I have a feeling you have a really good track record with it, as it is.
Not with the mushroom, I don't, but I
Yeah,
do
maybe
have a good track
with the
record with
clowning,
clown.
with the clowning. But
Yes.
is there any relation? Yeah.
Is
Uh,
there any relation between that? Absolutely. Shifting states of consciousness,
hmm,
opening up to new paradigms, you
okay.
know, realizing that what we've been led to believe our whole lives by society, by culture, uh, is not the all it be it. Is that how you
Hmm.
say it? Uh,
I like that. I like the way you said
okay.
it.
I
Be,
don't know,
be it
sometimes I
be it all
make
or
up
something.
phrases in English, I
That was
think.
pretty good. Yeah, they maybe are even better than the real ones, if there are,
Yeah.
if there are.
And
Um,
you
end all.
know, in the end, for me, you know, we talk about psychedelics or expanding consciousness, shifting paradigms. And uh, really, to me, all of that comes back to the individual and the self and exercising the freedom of will and being able to see things from our own perspective and come to our own conclusions.
Are you saying that the true nature of the person can be unveiled, and through the use of such things as maybe a psychedelic experience or a clown experience, something that brings you out of yourself,
Hmm.
you can maybe reach some refreshed place?
I'd say you can reach some refreshed place for sure, and you can reach maybe a lot of refreshed places. We were
Hmm.
talking with someone yesterday, and my friend said, there are just so many layers to this onion that is you.
Hmm.
And I don't think at this point from where I stand in my own, journey uh, of discovery of what this life is and what I am.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know if there is a destination, a final destination that we all arrive to. Right
Okay.
now, it seems like it just maybe keeps going, and uh,
Okay.
new and exciting layers keep,
Okay, okay. I would like you
becoming
to
apparent.
I'm a rather playful chap, but I would like you to unveil me right here live. And doesn't even have to be me. I could pretend to be someone a little bit, or you might even poke at the real me in there. But here I am. My name is Mortimer Normalized, and Mortimer Normalized. You can just call me M. And I
And
am just so like, oh man, you know, I just the same life. I'm always, you know,
and them.
you know, my family's all tax interpreters, and we're just been doing tax interpreting since whenever. And so now I am also one, and I've been just doing it my whole career, and I'm just you know, and I go to
Mm,
the train every day. And so, what I'm trying to say is maybe I'm a little fed up with just everything, and maybe there's all these things going on, and the world is getting a little too ah too much pressure, but it's also boring at the same time. And I
yeah.
come to your place and I come to your door and I say, knock, knock, clown. Who's there?
Mm, mm,
How can you do anything with me right now that maybe a loosening technique or
huh.
see?
a loosening technique do with you? You know, the first thing that I wanted to say is that I don't really intend to do anything with anybody. I don't think that I have the power to
Hmm.
unveil
Hmm.
something within people. I think you would have that power, but you have that
Right.
curiosity from what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how about that? How about this one?
Okay.
Well, if you wanted to try, some sort of clown exercise, maybe we could experiment right now on the video chat.
Clown exercise. I'm ready. I should
Uh,
have just said that. Okay. Clown exercise.
okay, okay, okay.
Go.
Uh, let me see. Let me see.
Wait, this is one right here. Hold on. Okay, everybody. This is one. This is one. If you don't already do this, then this is a warm up.
Hmm,
This is
how
called
about
mimic.
this?
This is called the mimic, right?
Hmm, how about this one? Oh, oh, you're already doing an exercise.
See,
Look at you.
I'm mimicking
We're
you.
playing.
Yes, I'm trying to do this thing.
Hmm, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What are we
That's
doing?
it. See? Oh, just don't say the word modality and we'll be fine. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Yes. Nobody does that. You're not supposed to do that. What are you doing? Wait a minute. What's that? Hmm. Okay. All right. There you go. Yeah. I'm gonna give her the pet right there. Oh, good one. Voila, folks. That was. I felt that it was materializing right through the computer screen.
Right through.
I
Right
was
through.
impressed. Very good. Okay, so little thing. You
Thank you.
know,
Thank you.
honestly, just being quiet for 2 seconds and doing things without talking, that right there did something.
It does. It
Here we
does. It
are.
does.
It's podcast, right? So you expect the host, and I can be verbose, right? Rah, 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 if I want to be. But sometimes it's like I'm just filling up space. I wish I could just be like,
Wouldn't it be amazing?
and you're like
Wouldn't it be
somehow
amazing,
getting
to
getting
start
something.
a podcast
So,
with just like 2 minutes of no talking and just looking at each other
this is
and
quite an this is an
seeing and being seen.
and maybe even not trying too hard.
Oh
But
wow.
okay, so it would be a mimic of people that are getting ready for a podcast that don't know they're on camera.
Hmm.
That can be that, right? And probably people do the most crazy things there beforehand anyway, right? You wouldn't know. So,
You would know. Yeah.
so you wouldn't know. But all right, it's a very interesting subject you've got going here, and I'm
Thank
fascinated
you.
that you can find a profession within this, and you're doing it in Maine, and you were at the Fungi Fest. So, what was your take on things, and how did you enjoy your weekend, and or otherwise, what would you say about it?
Oh my, Fungi Fest is really this is my third Fungi Fest. This was my third Fungi Fest
Oh, okay.
this year, and this is my favorite conference of the year, hands down.
Oh.
It's the from year one, the amount of magic that I experienced, the amount of learning, the amount of caring, the amount of people really doing the good work, and all the friends that I met there and that we continue to
Hmm.
stay in touch and interact and do projects together throughout the year has just been incredible, and it never disappoints, really. It just
Hmm.
keeps getting better, and the venue this year was just seemed absolutely perfect. With the waterfront, you starting with the scenery and ending with the incredible food, and the lawn, being inside and outside. And yeah, it's just been
The rolling
wonderful.
hills of the little college there was very nice. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. And the
Um,
clown workshop ended up
yeah.
being really popular as well.
That's what
Lots
I'm
of
kind
people
of
showed
want
up.
to ask you about that. Like if someone was interested or if they would say, "Oh, it's a clown workshop," or would I ever go to one? What would they expect to happen if they went to one?
Hmm.
What happens to me if I go to a What happens after? What will I be? The same person? No, no. What's it like when you go?
What's it like when you go? Well, my hope is that it feels safe and it feels genuine, and that you meet people that in a way that's deep, that's more than superficial, and that you experience yourself maybe in some kind of new way, just a
So
little
did you
bit,
get you
maybe
had
this
people
part or that part or this little
you
part.
had you had people that came in that had no experience at all, people that came into the
Correct.
fest maybe and were seeing then they came to your workshop and maybe you did a little bit of that peeling back of the layers. I think maybe you can you give me an example of anybody that came to it? You don't have to name them, of course, but you know, any experiences that, or even in the past that you've had with people that like you just see someone like, oh my goodness, or maybe they even come to tears or something, like that.
Well,
Just,
all of that has happened, and I
mm,
don't think tears is the only
right.
measure of quality here, or it's not a kind of currency,
Oh,
that we would.
the best would
Uh,
that be the best joke or what? I went to the clown workshop. I was crying for 2 weeks afterwards. It was so good.
yeah, why not? Why not?
Huh?
Crying is good, laughing is good,
Well, yeah, okay, no.
screaming, getting angry is good. All of it is good,
Breakthroughs.
really.
Getting angry is good too, huh?
Why not?
Ooh. I want to know when is getting angry good? Like, I mean, it can give you some energy, I guess, right? Yeah.
When is it? Well, when is it not good?
Mm,
I would
uh,
claim, and
on Facebook, it's terrible, or on Instagram. No, don't do it.
well, listen, it depends on what you interpret as anger. When my
Right.
discovery of celebration barn coincided with my discovery of the psychosomatic paradigm of therapy and healing, and I read this one book by an author called Peter Levine, who did a great contribution to the development of the whole system, and he describes anger as just this feeling that you have boundaries,
Hmm.
this feeling like you turn a corner and there is a dog barking at you and growling, and you just square up and you face it, turn to face it, and you say, no, I'm not going anywhere. And it's this feeling that I belong. This is where I stand. Is that is the feeling of healthy anger.
I see what you mean. Okay,
Now,
so
allegedly, if we suppress it, like we're taught that we were supposed to not be angry. Like I have, I'm doing a lot of work currently, and I have been for a while with, learning to get angry, and because
mm,
I would rather cry, because I was not allowed when I was little
mm, mhm,
to get angry. Good
mm,
girls don't, um, and that then when we suppress allegedly any emotion, when it is suppressed, then it becomes self-destructive, in a way. But when we let the emotions be in motion like they're meant to, it's in the word, right? Then it's kind of not, we may be non-discriminate.
hmm.
I'm not saying this is, you have to believe what I'm saying, come to your own conclusions, of course, but this is just something to ponder.
Okay, we're getting a little philosophical, a little
I love
sociological,
it.
a little sociological, a little medical or chemical. What about cultural? Can you tell me what does your cultural background have to do maybe with where you are right now and how you interpret the clowning and like
Oh, yeah.
the profession itself and all that. Because you seem to take it serious enough, and
Hmm.
there's something to be said for that. So, what's the cultural relevance?
Well, the culture, my cultural background is, post-Soviet Russia, pretty much.
Mm,
And, um, lots of, you know, having to look a certain way and not make eye contact with people when you're in this, in the street or in public transport, even though, it's like a can of sardines and everybody's riding there pretending they're the only person on the train.
hmm
Uh, Lots of tough love. That's my cultural, so
I
to
see.
speak, background that I come from. So,
Okay.
discovering, I mean, before I discovered clown, I left that background
Hmm.
to kind of seek different ways of being, and clown really sort of, ha, ha, triggered a deepening into myself and out into the world that was really, really remarkable. And now, that I'm doing this pretty much, full time, is and I'm part of amazing community, worldwide, of clowns. That's really, kind of a tight knit
Ooh,
network,
yeah.
but also, it keeps growing, it keeps expanding. Clown all over the world is on the rise. You wouldn't believe, people want this.
Talk about
People
it. The worldwide
different
thing.
ways of being. Back in April, I was part of an event called the Clown Virgins, like a
Mm.
convergence, but for clowns, right? So
Oh, interesting. Clown virgins. Okay.
yeah, it was a worldwide,
Gotcha.
online
Uh,
conference for 3 days. There were panels, there were workshops, discussions, presentations, demonstrations, all of it. And, clowns and clown teachers and clown elders all over the world, we're talking about how do we make this more inclusive? How do we share knowledge?
hmm,
How do, really this paradigm of collaborating and not competing with each other,
hmm.
supporting
So,
each other because we're all here for
oh,
the same cause. We've all had this transformative experience. And, once we've had it, it's, oftentimes all you want to do is keep having it and also sharing it with others. And I every time I mention, I for years I would say all different things, and I'd say I teach these workshops that help you reconnect, with your genuine playful side, but I wouldn't say clown.
hmm.
And then, because I thought, yeah, people wouldn't understand or whatever, this prejudice. uh, Stephen King fucked it up for
I was
many of
just
us.
about to ask you,
And it
today's
just,
clowns are
yeah,
taking a hit. Are taking
yeah,
a hit.
yeah,
Clowns,
a little bit, but
kids don't
we're
love
working
clowns.
on it. We're
Clowns are
working on it.
scary. They're scary now.
Correct.
And so, but clowning is not scary. I think there's something a little different
No.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just to finish that train of
Yeah,
thought that I
please,
was,
please, yeah.
going with there, is that, I would say all those things, and people would be like, "Yeah, wow, that's cool. That's it. I really want that." But then I would say, "I'm a clown," and that's all that people would remember. Right? She's a clown. And then I just said, "Well, I just have to start saying it. This is what I do. This is what I'm into." And
Okay. All
every
right.
time I say that, I have every single time, literally, I have at least one, and more often several people that heard approach me and say, "I will go to a clown workshop."
Once they understand it's okay to do. So there's the first breakthrough is that you get people to understand that such a thing could exist, first of all, like your barn and other places, and then to know, think to themselves, oh, maybe someday I'll do that. And then maybe they
Yeah,
get a chance at a
yeah,
workshop at a fest or something, and then they have a little breakthrough. And maybe they continue and look for other breakthroughs and work themselves into some place that is maybe a higher plateau.
I think
This what
so.
is
And
uh,
people are ready for it, especially, we're like these post-COVID times, and people have, the world is a different world right now from what it was 5 years ago. That long-term isolation for many people, had us discover, we need different ways of being in the
Mm.
community, being, in society, relating to each other that are more sustainable, that are more true to ourselves, that are less inhibited. And here we are with lots of people wanting this, but not knowing per se how to do it because it's been taught out of us for so many years.
Are the clowns better? We got 4 minutes. Are the clowns better than if they don't wear makeup? Or should they wear makeup? Noses? You see, this is part of what's scary about clowns. Like if you're a clown and you don't wear makeup, I'm trying to figure this one out. Like, what's
You-
scary? Is it the silence?
yeah,
What
I think it's the story. I think it's the one book or whatever.
Is that one? Yeah, I
That might
gotcha.
be scary. And then, the Ronald McDonald and that kind of stuff. There's definitely way to people who think they do clown, or they try to do clown in a certain way that can be really pretentious, I think. And that is scary, because we feel some kind of not genuine emotion, and we're like, but what's your agenda? What do you want from me? So to answer, but that we can feel also with other people who don't look like clowns, right? With this,
Hmm.
and yeah, politics and politicians and all that kind of stuff too.
I'm not
Uh,
sure I'm not sure the word clown even when you call someone a clown, there's not many professions out there that when you call someone it's also an insulting term too. You clown, and it's like, yes, I don't know about that very much, you don't hear that a lot, but that would
Well, here
be,
we're getting into semantics, really, and
oh, of
it's so hard to
course.
understand each other. We have so
Yeah.
many languages, and then, even within one single language, people, different terms mean different things to different people. So it's really
Mm.
hard to understand each other. And that's, what the nature of clowning is also is communication that is before words, finding a
Mm.
place that is more real than terminology.
So you suggest people do this with each other, like if two people are hanging out or whatever, it's a good idea, maybe nonverbal. Try a bit of nonverbal because you might just break yourselves out of like, ugh, having that burden of the intellect all the time. So
I
think,
love that.
uh,
Personally, I love the nonverbal.
mm.
I do a lot of practices, all the time that are about nonverbal communication.
I've
Um,
never, okay, I've never, okay, shall we? I mean, I've never done this before. We have 2 minutes, 24 seconds, 2 minutes, 22, and we're signing off on this episode of Fungi Frontiers with Marina Go. It has been quite a nice go. And I must say, I've been trying to get you to be all silly, but you haven't been very serious
I'm
about
not
this.
silly enough.
Takes herself very,
Come on.
he takes her profession serious, and I should have known that too. But I don't know. Maybe I was expecting the nose. But how about for the last little bit? Here
Mm,
we go. 2 minutes straight. I'd like to do a nonverbal pod.
mm, mm.
We're still talking though,
Mm.
right? Like we're still talking with words, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not
Uh,
sure what's happening here.
okay, well,
Yeah, there's something you would like to do, but I don't know. I feel, yeah, I'm feeling it right now.
that's it. That's it. Couldn't induce you into the silly behavior on the podcast itself. But I've been
Mm,
trying. But we did
mm.
get a whole load of information, and I think we covered some really cool topics. Um, and
I
maybe
feel
gave
that way
people,
too.
yeah, gave people some things to think about if anyone listens, and certainly me. I got a lot of points to think about. You're a fascinating person. There's certainly chapters and chapters that we didn't even touch, but I'm happy we did get in there and see what we did. And thanks for being
Cool.
on Fungi Frontiers with
Thank you
me.
for having me. And can I tell people how to find me if they want to find out more?
I'll put something up.
Cool.
I'll put it up.
You'll put it up.
I'll put it
Super.
up. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
afraid we're
Thank
gonna
you,
run out
Bobby.
of moments. But cheers. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
It's been
Thank you
such a
too.
pleasure.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you, Fungi Frontiers. Keep doing the good work.
Cheers.
Fungi. Fest.
Fest, fest, fest.